Welcome back. And in today's lecture, we will talk about the Reynolds number and laminar flow. This topic is dealing with Reynolds number, turbulent flow, laminar flow, and the heat losses. I would like you to follow this reading material, Robert Mott, chapter 8. And as we move forward, the objectives of this lecture are: at the end of this lecture, a student is expected to know the following about laminar and turbulent flow regions, including the transient region. Then you should know about the dimensionless numbers and be able to show the Reynolds number is a dimensionless number and calculate the flow from Reynolds number. We will talk about the Reynolds number in a bit. You should be able to solve problems regarding the Reynolds number and analyzing data from literature. When I talk about analyzing data from literature, I mean the tables and the charts that I have taught to you in lecture 6. Pipe, tubings, how to extract the information, the internal diameter, the outer diameter, as well as units. यानी हमें करेक्ट यूनिट्स के अंदर जो डेटा लेना है वो आपको आना चाहिए. Then you should know about the Darcy equation, which I mentioned in lecture 7. We will relate the Darcy equation and use it with the Hagen-Poiseuille equation, and we will derive an equation for the frictional loss in laminar flow. You should be able to calculate the frictional loss in turbulent flow using the formula. Understand the term relative roughness and use it with the Reynolds number to calculate the friction factor for turbulent flow using the help of Moody diagram. You should be able to compare the values of the friction factor from Moody diagram and by the equation. Be able to use the Moody diagram and nature of flow to solve complex problems relating the energy equation to calculate the energy losses and solve pressure calculations. Lastly, you should be able to understand the Hazen-Williams flow for water and do suitable calculations to solve problems obtaining the parameters. So this was a bit about the objectives that we will cover in this lecture, and I told you that there are basically two types of flow, laminar flow and turbulent flow. In today's topic, we will talk about laminar flow. यानी आज का जो पूरा हमारा डिस्कशन होगा वो laminar flow के ऊपर होगा. I even told you before that हमारे पास दो तरह के fluid होते हैं. One is the static fluid in which the fluid is stationary and does not flow. दूसरा जो होता है ना वो हमारा dynamic fluid होता है. Dynamic fluid is to deal with kinetics of the fluid. In other words, a dynamic fluid will flow. अब इस डायनेमिक फ्लूइड के बीच में आपके पास दो तरह के फ्लो के नेचर होते हैं. एक जो हमारा नेचर ऑफ फ्लो होता है उसको हम बोलते हैं लैमिनर फ्लो. दूसरा जो हमारा फ्लो का नेचर होता है उसको हम बोलते हैं टर्बुलेंट फ्लो. और इन दोनों के बीच में जो फ्लो है दैट इज द ट्रांजिएंट फ्लो, विच कैन नाइदर बी कॉल्ड द लैमिनर फ्लो और टर्बुलेंट फ्लो. इट इज़ वेरी हार्ड टू प्रिडिक्ट दैट टाइप ऑफ फ्लो. तो ये हमारे दो टाइप्स ऑफ फ्लोज बेसिकली होते हैं. अब ये जो फ्लो है कि मेरा जो डायनेमिक फ्लूइड है डायनेमिक जो फ्लूइड है ये जो फ्लो हो रहा है क्या ये लैमिनर है क्या टर्बुलेंट है, ये जो बात है ना ये रेनॉल्ड नंबर एक डायमेंशनलेस नंबर होता है दैट डिटरमिन्स whether my flow is laminar or turbulent. When I talk in a bit, I will talk about the dimensionless number and what is a dimensionless group. But for now, you should know that Reynolds number is what determines whether a flow is laminar or whether a flow is turbulent. And in this topic, this particular chapter, there are many formulae. And I will tell you which formulae to write. यानी आपको जो जो फॉर्मूला है जो मालूम होने चाहिए जो आपको गिवन नहीं होंगे, that I will tell you that this formula you should know by heart as a engineering student. So let us move on. The behavior of a fluid, especially with regard to energy losses, is dependent on the fact if a fluid flowing is laminar or turbulent. अगर एक फ्लूइड का बिहेवियर होता है, आपने प्रिडिक्ट करना है और एनर्जी लॉसेस प्रिडिक्ट करने हैं. रिमेंबर वी टॉक्ड अबाउट एनर्जी लॉसेस इन द फ्लूइड HL. So in order to predict that, you need to know that whether your fluid is laminar or turbulent. It is important to predict the type of flow without actually observing it. Sometimes what happens is you cannot observe your fluid, यानी आपको आपका fluid नजर नहीं आता है. एक classic example ले लें कि एक opaque pipe के अंदर एक fluid flow कर रहा है. अब उस pipe के अंदर fluid आपको नजर नहीं आएगा, आपको जज करना है उसकी प्रॉपर्टीज. तो इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप प्रिडिक्ट कर सकते हो प्रॉपर्टीज को जज कर कि मेरा जो टाइप ऑफ फ्लो है वो लैमिनर फ्लो है या टर्ब्यूलेंट फ्लो है. अब ये किस तरह हम प्रिडिक्ट करते हैं? Experimentally, it was shown that the character of flow in a round pipe depends on 4 variables. Past में experts did experiments, and in their experiments they showed that the flow of in any circular pipe will depend upon 4 major variables, and the variables are defined as follows: the density of the fluid, the viscosity of the fluid, the diameter of the pipe, and the average velocity of the flow. ये 4 पैरामीटर होते हैं जिसके ऊपर आपका जो फ्लूइड फ्लो होता है वो डिफाइन होता है या डिस्क्राइब हो रहा होता है. जब हम विस्कोसिटी की बात करते हैं ना, तो 2 तरह की विस्कोसिटी होती हैं, काइनेमेटिक विस्कोसिटी और डायनेमिक विस्कोसिटी. अब आप कौन सी विस्कोसिटी ले रहे हैं, दिस डिपेंड्स अपॉन द डेटा यू हैव एंड it's your choice. You will get the same answer. Now, based on these 4 parameters, there was a scientist called Osborne Reynolds. He was the first person to show that laminar or turbulent flow can be predicted if the magnitude of a dimensionless number is known. वैसे तो dimensionless number यहाँ पर NR से signify किया है, मगर उसको आप RE से भी signify करते हैं. तो ये जो बंदा था ना आपका Osborne Reynolds, he was the first person to show that based on the above 4 properties, how can you predict whether your fluid is laminar or turbulent in nature? And that is why this dimensionless number, in order to respect the person who showed it, is known as the Reynolds number. चलें जी, अब हम बात करते हैं अपने फ्लूइड की. अभी मैंने आपको बात की कि हमारा जो फ्लूइड है, जो फ्लो ऑफ फ्लूइड, that can be termed as in 2 portions. Either my fluid can be, the flow of my fluid can be laminar flow, or the flow can be turbulent flow. Let us first talk about the laminar flow. Laminar flow is also known as streamline flow in pipes or tube. What do you understand by the word streamline? It occurs in parallel layers. ये इस तरह फ्लो करता है जैसे एक लेयर दूसरी लेयर के पैरेलल हो. It cannot flow in a perpendicular direction. Because it is flowing parallel, there is no disruption between the layers. ये smooth flow है, कोई fluctuation नहीं हो रही है, कोई disturbance नहीं हो रही है, कोई हमने eddy current produce नहीं हो रहा है. There is no chaotic nature in flow. At low velocities, fluid tends to flow without lateral mixing. जब आपकी velocity कम होती है ना, तो आपका जो fluid होता है that tends to flow without lateral mixing and adjacent layers slide past each other. एक जो layer है वो दूसरे के parallel slide pass होगी. तो इसका ये मतलब हुआ कि कम velocity के ऊपर आपका जो flow pattern है ना वो streamline flow pattern पे जा रहा होता है. In other words, वो laminar flow होता है. The motion of the particles of the fluid is orderly. That is very important also, that the motion of the particles of the fluid वो orderly होता है, एक repeated pattern में होता है. And all particles will move in a straight line parallel to the pipe walls. आपका जो pipe है ना, there are walls surrounding that. So the fluid moves in straight line, all of that fluid. ना ऊपर जाएगा ना नीचे जाएगा, ना कोई और chaotic movement होगी. That is all you need to know what is a laminar flow. इसी तरह हमारे पास एक turbulent flow होता है. Turbulent flow is known as chaotic flow. यानी इस flow के अंदर एक smooth pattern नहीं होता है. I will show you the diagrams in a bit. मैं आपको diagrams दिखाऊंगा, आप देखेंगे कि turbulent flow है वो chaotic in nature है और इसके वजह से आपकी प्रॉपर्टीज चेंज होती हैं। कुछ जो प्रॉपर्टीज चेंज हो रही हैं, दे इंक्लूड रैपिड चेंजेस इन प्रेशर एंड फ्लो वेलोसिटी। आपकी फ्लो वेलोसिटी रैपिडली चेंज होगी। There will also be rapid changes in pressure. As a result, there is significant amount of pressure loss in turbulent flow, and you do not want pressure loss. मगर ये होता है turbulent flow के अंदर. Unlike laminar flow, the fluid is no longer travels in layers. जैसे मैंने आपको कहा था, laminar flow जो है वो repeated patterns के अंदर flow करता है, streamline flow है, parallel है, orderly है. Turbulent के अंदर ये सब नहीं होता है. Turbulent flow is chaotic in nature. In physics, you studied something called eddy currents. Faraday's made his electric currents, which he based on in which he signified eddy currents. So in turbulent flow also these eddy currents are produced, and the nature of these eddy currents make this flow chaotic in nature. Now, as I talked before, that Osborne Reynolds gave a dimensionless number. अब डायमेंशनलेस नंबर यहाँ पर हम जिक्र करते हैं, बता देता हूँ आपको कि डायमेंशनलेस नंबर ऐसा नंबर होता है जिसके कोई यूनिट्स नहीं होंगे. दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड डायमेंशनलेस. But that does not mean it does not have a magnitude. Usually everything has a magnitude and some units. For example, if I talk about length, 2 meters, 2 is the magnitude, meter is the length. डायमेंशनलेस के नंबर के पास एक मैग्नीट्यूड होगा, एक न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू होगी, मगर उसके पास कोई यूनिट नहीं होंगे. तो रेनल्ड ने एक नंबर डिटरमिन किया था जिसका मैग्नीट्यूड 4000 रखा. ही सेड कि अगर 4000 या 4000 से बड़ा आपका रेनल्ड नंबर की वैल्यू आई, इस डायमेंशनलेस नंबर की वैल्यू या तो 4000 आई या 4000 से ज्यादा आई, आपका जो फ्लो होगा ना वो टर्बुलेंट कंसीडर किया जाएगा. कीपिंग दिस इन माइंड, अगर आपका रेनॉल्ड नंबर की वैल्यू लेस देन 2000 आई, यानी 1999 आ गई, या एनी वैल्यू लेस देन 2000, तो हम उसको सेफली अज्यूम कर सकते हैं कि ये एक स्ट्रीमलाइन फ्लो है, ये लैमिनर फ्लो है, ये स्मूथ फ्लो है, ये पैरेलल फ्लो है. These are all the words with laminar flow. So these are the two extreme boundaries, 2000 and 4000. Below 2000 we have the laminar flow. Above 4000 we have the turbulent flow. In between these two numbers, obviously there are significant numbers, there are a lot of numbers between 2000 and 4000. ये जो नंबर होते हैं ना, ये ट्रांजिशन रिजीम में होते हैं. ट्रांजिशन रिजीम का मतलब ये हुआ कि यहाँ पर जो फ्लो है ना, इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू प्रिडिक्ट वेदर इट इज लैमिनर फ्लो, वेदर इट इज टर्बुलेंट फ्लो. आप प्रिडिक्ट नहीं कर सकते हो. तो कभी फ्लो कुछ जा रहा होता है, कभी फ्लो कुछ जा रहा होता है, तो इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू predict exactly whether my flow is laminar or whether my flow is turbulent. In such a case, you call this region the transition region. Now I would like to show you the type of flow. This is a pipe. Clearly you can see that the laminar flow is smooth. All the flow particles are going in orderly direction which are adjacent to each other, and there is no perpendicular direction or any other flow direction. They are all parallel, smooth, orderly. That is your turbulent laminar flow. It is also known as streamline flow, and the case here is less than 2000 Reynolds number. Compare that with turbulent flow. There is no fixed direction of turbulent flow. You can see these currents, the chaotic nature. Everywhere there are twists and turns. यानी ये फ्लो कभी यहाँ जाता है, कभी वहां जाता है, अपनी मर्जी से जा रहा होता है, इसका कोई रेगुलर पैटर्न नहीं है. इसको हम बोलते हैं chaotic नेचर ऑफ फ्लो. और इस फ्लो नेचर की वजह से आपके जो पैरामीटर्स है ना वो चेंज होते हैं. आपका कॉन्स्टेंटली प्रेशर ड्रॉप चेंज होता है, आपकी कॉन्स्टेंटली वेलोसिटी चेंज होती है. So this is a diagram of a turbulent flow if you ask to make a diagram of a turbulent flow. Then I have shown you the same flow in another picture where I am showing you a graph between flow rate and the driving pressure. If you look at the diagram for turbulent flow, you can clearly see a straight line which shows that this is directly proportional. It's a constant straight line going through the origin. Compare that with the line, the curve for the turbulent flow, that flow rate against the pressure drop. So this diagram clearly shows that turbulent flow has a significant effect on the pressure drop. Yani it has a significant effect on changing the pressure due to its chaotic nature, which is a disadvantage. There is a significant amount of pressure drop in turbulent flow. तो ये turbulent flow की एक disadvantage होती है कि आपका जो pressure drop है वो constantly fluctuate कर रहा होता है. It is not constant. Then in another diagram against a plate, ये देखें laminar flow का जो shape होता है वो more or less smooth होता है. ये आपको दिखा रहा है. इसको turbulent से compare करें. Turbulent में look at this. The shape is different. In between the eddies, chaotic nature, the currents are forming. Transitional में देखें, the currents are beginning to form. This portion you can consider that it's going towards the turbulent nature, but शुरू के अंदर ये smooth है. तो आप exactly नहीं predict कर सकते हैं कि भाई exactly मेरा laminar flow है या exactly मेरा turbulent flow है. Mixture है. It depends upon the conditions. So as a result, हम इसको एक transitional zone बोलते हैं. There is no fixed point in a transitional zone कि भाई ये मेरा laminar flow है, ये मेरा turbulent flow है. वो सिर्फ आप दो फिक्स्ड रेनॉल्ड्स नंबर के ऊपर डिटरमिन कर सकते हैं कि भाई 4000 रेनॉल्ड नंबर से ज्यादा है तो यस मेरा टर्बुलेंट फ्लो है. 2000 यानी 2000 से मेरा रेनॉल्ड्स नंबर कम है, लेस देन 2000 लैमिनर फ्लो. Again, I am showing you the diagrams. Look at, compare these three diagrams and have a look. Laminar flow. Every fluid molecule followed in a straight path that was parallel to the boundaries of the tube. Transitional में every fluid molecule followed wavy. Wavy lines are being produced, but parallel path that was not parallel to the boundaries of the tube. मगर फिर भी एक parallel path के ऊपर है, मगर ये parallel path boundaries of the tube को parallel नहीं है. And lastly, turbulent flow. Every fluid molecule follows very complex path, haphazard. So this is clearly showing you the difference between the three regions. Now I want to tell you something about dimensionless number. हम dimensionless number की बात क्यों कर रहे हैं? Because Reynolds का जो number था ना, Reynolds number, which is the main number, main dimensionless number in fluid mechanics, that is the number which is determining the most important property of the fluid flow, whether it is turbulent or laminar. So hence, I need to give you a background of dimensionless number. This is defined as a number which represents a property of a physical system. Every dimensionless number जो होगा ना, वो आपके system की कोई ना कोई property define करता है. For example, Reynolds number है, ये आपकी system का क्या define करेगा? ये आपका flow nature define करेगा. Turbulent flow है या laminar flow है. In other words, आपकी inertial forces to viscous forces का ratio होता है. इसी तरह एक Mach number होता है. Fluid mechanics की बात कर रहे हैं. Fluid mechanics में Mach number जो है वो velocity define करता है. Then for other subjects there are other dimensionless numbers. Let's take the Nusselt number used in heat transfer. Nusselt number is used for heat transfer. The Prandtl number is used for diffusivity. Thermal diffusivity also used in heat transfer. Mass transfer के अंदर there's Sherwood number, there's a Schmidt number. तो तमाम तरह के dimensionless number होते हैं, मगर आपके कोर्स के लिए in this fluid mechanics the main number is Reynolds number. Dimensionless number क्या होता है? As I mentioned before, it is not measured on a scale of physical unit. Dimensionless number का कोई physical unit नहीं होगा. In fluid mechanics, the two most important dimensionless numbers are the Reynolds number and the Mach number. I am telling you about the Mach number to give you a concept of dimensionless numbers. But in our course, we do not have to focus on the Mach number. We have to focus on the Reynolds number. But without the concept of Mach number, I cannot give you the concept of dimensionless number. अब मैंने आपको ये बताया था कि हर डायमेंशनलेस नंबर है वो कोई ना कोई प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ अ फिजिकल सिस्टम डिफाइन करता है. तो लेट्स से मेरा पहला केस है रेनॉल्ड्स नंबर. रेनॉल्ड्स नंबर इज द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक नंबर which is used to predict whether a flow condition will be laminar or turbulent. So Reynolds number is used to predict the nature of flow. It is defined as the ratio of the inertial forces to the viscous forces. ये क्या है? ये हम अभी बात करेंगे. The ratio of the inertial forces to the viscous forces के ये क्या चीज है रेनॉल्ड्स नंबर. पहले दूसरे डायमेंशनलेस नंबर की बात करते हैं. दूसरा डायमेंशनलेस नंबर है ऑब्जर्व्ड इन फ्लूइड मैकेनिक्स इज द मैक नंबर. The Mach number is defined as the ratio to the velocity of fluid to the velocity of sound in the fluid. हर फ्लूइड की एक वेलोसिटी होती है, उसका रेशियो विद द साउंड विद द वेलोसिटी ऑफ साउंड इन दैट फ्लूइड. वेलोसिटी ऑफ साउंड तो एक कांस्टेंट वैल्यू होता है ना c की, 3 × 10⁸. आप उन दोनों का रेशियो लेते हैं. तो पहले मैं आपको प्रूफ करता हूं डायमेंशनलेस नंबर क्या है. हम बात मैक नंबर की करते हैं. हमने मैक नंबर को किस तरह डिफाइन किया है. Mach number is defined as the ratio of the velocity of fluid to the velocity of sound in that fluid. M is equal to U upon C, where U represents the velocity of fluid, C represents the velocity of sound in that fluid. अभी आप मैग्नीट्यूड की बात नहीं करें, हम यूनिट्स की बात करते हैं. Since U आपकी वेलोसिटी है और C जो है वो भी वेलोसिटी है, मगर वेलोसिटी ऑफ साउंड है. U के यूनिट्स मीटर पर सेकेंड होंगे, C के यूनिट मीटर पर सेकेंड होंगे. Since the units are the same, they can cancel out. This is a dimensionless number. Mach number के कोई यूनिट्स नहीं है. Hence, the Mach number is unitless or dimensionless. So that the reason I gave you the Mach number was to give you a concept of what exactly is a dimensionless number. Now we take a step forward because my real focus is focusing on the most important number which is dimensionless in nature in fluid mechanics, the Reynolds number. And this I will show you in detail. Let us talk about the Reynolds number. As mentioned before, Reynolds proved that the type of flow of fluid, यानी whether a flow of fluid is laminar या turbulent, ये चार वेरिएबल्स पे डिटरमिन करता है. इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द 4 वेरिएबल्स. दोस 4 वेरिएबल्स आर द डेंसिटी ऑफ फ्लूइड, द वेलोसिटी ऑफ द फ्लूइड, द डायमीटर ऑफ द पाइप इन विच द फ्लूइड इज passing through, and lastly the viscosity of the fluid. Now viscosity के अंदर there are two types of viscosity, the dynamic viscosity and kinematic viscosity. I will show you both forms of viscosity and how they are related with the Reynolds number. Reynolds number is defined as the ratio of the inertial forces to the viscous forces. देखें, Reynolds number जब आप define करते हैं ना, it is always defined as the ratio of the inertial forces to the viscous forces. The most common mistake a student makes is that a student writes in a hurry that Reynolds number is a ratio of the viscous forces to the inertial forces. That is wrong. Viscous upon inertial forces is 1 upon Reynolds number. अब अगर हम बात करते हैं inertial forces की, inertial forces क्या होती हैं? Inertial forces come from the second law of Newton, F is equal to ma, which is also known as the law of momentum. Law of momentum के अंदर there are two main parameters. There is rho and there is velocity, rho v. And here clearly you can see that two of the 4 variables that Reynolds defined his number on are density of the fluid and the velocity of fluid. So these come under inertial forces. Viscous forces were also from Newton's law. We remember in chapter 2 we did Newton's law of viscosity. There were two types of fluid, Newtonian fluids and non-Newtonian fluids. In the Newtonian fluids, the shear stress and strain that was proportional to the the shear stress was proportional to the what? Velocity gradient. वो जो proportionality constant था, that was viscosity. So in short, every fluid has certain resistance or some sort of viscosity. और ये जो viscosity होती है ना, ये होती है या तो dynamic viscosity या kinematic viscosity. So if my ratio of the Reynolds number is inertial forces upon viscous forces, what does that mean? That rho and u, the velocity will be on the top in the numerator side, and viscosity, be it kinematic be it dynamic, will be at the bottom. That is how the Reynolds number is defined. I will repeat that once, that हमारा जो Reynolds number है वो किस पे डिपेंड होता है? वो डिपेंड होता है रेशियो इनर्शियल फोर्सेस टू विस्कस फोर्सेस. इनर्शियल फोर्सेस जो हैं उस वो कहाँ से डिफाइन हुई हैं? वो न्यूटन के सेकंड लॉ से डिफाइन हुए, द लॉ ऑफ मोमेंटम से. इसीलिए रो और वी जो है, डेंसिटी और वेलोसिटी, वो इनर्शियल फोर्सेस में आता है. दैट कम इन द न्यूमरेटर. नीचे क्या आएगा डिनोमिनेटर में? डिनोमिनेटर में आपका विस्कोसिटी आएगा, बिकॉज वो विस्कस फोर्सेस से डिफाइन हुआ है. अब या तो वो काइनेमेटिक विस्कोसिटी हो या वो डायनेमिक विस्कोसिटी हो, बट रेशियो क्या है? इनर्शियल फोर्सेस टू viscous forces. So the last line of this slide says the viscous forces are related to the law of viscosity, where viscosity was proportional to the shear stress. Ab mathematically we are defining the Reynolds number, which is given by the following. Please follow me. Reynolds number is equal to velocity u, rho, that is the inertial force, multiplied by the diameter of the pipe, divided by viscosity, the viscous force. तो ये रेनॉल्ड नंबर डिफाइन होता है, एंड एज एन इंजीनियर you should know the form of Reynolds number. Reynolds number is nothing but your velocity of the fluid multiplied by the density of the fluid multiplied by the diameter of the tube or the section where it is traveling, divided by the viscosity of that fluid. This equation will not be provided to you. You should know the Reynolds equation, the Reynolds number. Again, I repeat that in this Reynolds number, mu and rho, this is making the contribution of the inertial forces. Viscosity is making the contribution of the viscous forces. And this is also known as the main form of the Reynolds number. यानी the form of the Reynolds number which has the dynamic viscosity. वो Reynolds number जिसके अंदर हमारे पास डिनोमिनेटर में डायनेमिक विस्कोसिटी है, वो मेन फॉर्म ऑफ रेनॉल्ड नंबर होता है. एक और टाइप ऑफ रेनॉल्ड्स नंबर होता है, सेकेंडरी टाइप ऑफ रेनॉल्ड्स नंबर, जिसके अंदर आपका डिनोमिनेटर में काइनेमेटिक विस्कोसिटी होता है, बट दैट कैन आल्सो बी यूज्ड टू फाइंड आउट द Reynolds number. Both the answers will be the same, as we will see. So that was my first task, that to tell you the formula for the Reynolds number. The second task is to show you that Reynolds number is dimensionless. When you're practicing your Reynolds number, showing it dimensionless, you have to take one system of units. Either you go in the SI system, या तो you go in the American system. Both the systems cannot be joined. So I am assuming I am taking my SI system. The units of velocity is meter per second, ms minus 1. The unit for density is kg per meter cube, kg ms m minus 3. The unit of diameter is the length, the diameter of the circular tube, m. Viscosity, the SI units for viscosity is Pascal second. But Pascal second, we saw in chapter 2, can also be written as kg per meter per second. In other words, ये जो आपका Pascal second होता है ना, जो मेन यूनिट, Main unit of viscosity, dynamic viscosity we are talking about is Pascal second. But another form of Pascal second is kg per meter second. Kg meter second. So this is what I've written, kg per meter per second. You will see that all the units are cancelling out. This clearly shows that the Reynolds number is a dimensionless number. तो अभी मैंने आपको क्या बात कर दी, मैंने आपको प्रूफ कर दिया that the Reynolds number is a dimensionless quantity. ये आपको I already told you that this is the main form of the Reynolds number in the first equation, where you can write it in the form of dynamic viscosity. However, there is a second form of the Reynolds number which is given in terms of kinematic viscosity. We know that the relation of kinematic to dynamic viscosity is kinematic viscosity signified by V is equal to dynamic viscosity upon rho. This is the second equation which I expect you to know. Everyone should know that kinematic viscosity is nothing but your dynamic viscosity divided by the density of that fluid. This formula will not be provided to you. और आपको ये भी मालूम होना चाहिए कि काइनेमेटिक विस्कोसिटी के जो यूनिट्स होते हैं वो क्या होते हैं. दे आर व्हाट? मीटर स्क्वायर पर सेकेंड. They are meter square per second. Those are the units of kinematic viscosity. If you do this, how are the units of kinematic viscosity? Meter square per second. How is kinematic viscosity defined? It is defined as dynamic viscosity. Let me assume that my units for dynamic viscosity is kg, second inverse, meter inverse, meter minus 1, divided by kg per meter cube. ये kg और ये kg कट गया. There is -1 meter over here. When this -3 goes on top, so it will become 2. So your units for kinematic viscosity are square per second. Why I have told you these units? Because I will show it to you how they are defined with the Reynolds number. So first I told you that relation of kinematic viscosity is nothing but dynamic viscosity upon rho. Okay. We go back and make rho the subject. Rho then would be, your density would be nothing but the dynamic viscosity upon the kinematic viscosity. चले, आपका जो density है ना, वो है dynamic viscosity upon kinematic viscosity. Based on the last equation on the last slide, density can be termed as ratio of dynamic viscosity to kinematic viscosity. ये जो ऊपर वाला equation है ना, that can be substituted in the main Reynolds equation. What was your main Reynolds equation? Your main Reynolds equation was U rho D upon dynamic viscosity, mu. तो उधर जो आपका रो है ना, उसकी जगह मैं क्या लिख सकता हूं? उस रो की जगह मैं लिख सकता हूं डायनेमिक विस्कोसिटी अपॉन V. डायनेमिक विस्कोसिटी V इनवर्स इसलिए लिखा क्योंकि वो अपॉन V है. So when this dynamic viscosity and this dynamic viscosity cancels out, the second form of Reynolds number is nothing but UD upon V, where U is the velocity of the fluid, D is the diameter of the circular section of the fluid, and V is the kinematic viscosity. Again, it is the ratio of the inertial force upon the viscous forces. So this equation is the second form of the Reynolds number. Let us repeat over here as we carry forward. What is the main type of Reynolds equation? The main form of Reynolds number is equal to mu multiplied by rho, density, multiplied by diameter upon mu, kinematic viscosity. The second form of the Reynolds number is nothing but U, which is velocity, multiply by diameter divided by the kinematic viscosity. Now, the above is the Reynolds number in terms of kinematic viscosity. I already told you that the units of kinematic viscosity are meter square per second, and if these units are substituted in the second form of Reynolds number, we can look. Velocity is meter per second, d is m. For kinematic viscosity, the units are meter square, second inverse. You can see that these units are same. Hence, the second form also proves that that Reynolds number is a dimensionless number. The moral of the story is that we have proved that Reynolds number is a dimensionless number, whether you look at the Reynolds number in terms of kinematic viscosity or whether you look at the Reynolds number in terms of dynamic viscosity. Let us take a recap. What have we done as the recap? Point number 1, Reynolds number is a dimensionless number. Point number 2, Reynolds number can be written in terms of kinematic viscosity or in terms of dynamic viscosity. Point number 3, how do we define the Reynolds number? Reynolds number is the ratio of the inertial forces to the viscous forces, and it helps in determining whether the flow is turbulent flow or laminar flow. If your Reynolds number has a value greater than 4000, you can safely assume that your flow of your fluid is turbulent flow. And if the Reynolds number is less than 2000, then we can say that your fluid is flowing laminar flow. There is two values between 2000 and 4000 is transient region. In this region, you can neither predict whether the flow is turbulent or laminar. It is an in-between flow. So these were the general concepts. Apart from these concepts, what we discussed was laminar flow is parallel smooth flow, which is also known as streamline flow without any disturbances. Turbulent flow is the flow which is chaotic in nature, which has fluctuations, which has eddy currents. As a result, the properties change constantly, properties such as pressure drop and the velocity. तो अभी तक हमने पूरे पोर्शन के अंदर ये डिस्कस किया था. चलें एक स्टेप आगे चलते हैं. हमने आपको बताया कि the fluid flows having large Reynolds number is turbulent, and usually turbulent flow will have a high velocity or a low viscosity, और ये उसके फॉर्मूले से आपको नजर आ जाता है. If I give you a fraction, if the numerator is big and the denominator is small, then your answer is larger. So numerator mein what do you have? Velocity. So if your velocity is big and your viscosity is small, then that is a high Reynolds number, hence turbulent flow. Hence turbulent flow is favored by high velocity and less viscosity. In contrast, fluids which have a high viscosity, यानी आपका denominator high हो गया और numerator कम है, in such cases the Reynolds number would be low and thus would be laminar in nature. So for example, flows which have low velocity and a high viscosity, it is obvious that the Reynolds number will have a lower value. Hence it is favoring the laminar flow. So this is just simply mathematics, that if the denominator is larger, numerator is less, the number is smaller. And if the numerator is larger and denominator is less, the number is larger. I think I mixed it up. Let me repeat. If the numerator is small and the denominator is huge, the sum is a very small answer. But if the numerator is larger and the denominator is small, then your answer is a large number. Yes, I think we've got it correct now. Okay. Now, these are nothing but the units of the velocity, the diameter, the density, dynamic viscosity, and kinematic viscosity. For dynamic viscosity, we use the units kg meter second, kg upon meter per second. The corresponding units in SI units can be written as slugs per foot second. That is the only unit of confusion. But I have taught you unit conversions in the past, so you should know about them. Okay. Now let us talk about critical Reynolds number. यानी Reynolds number के पास एक range होती है. अब उसके बारे में हम बात करते हैं. For practical application in pipes, it has been found out, I repeat, that Reynolds number less than 2000 is laminar flow. At the same time, if the flow is greater than 4000, sorry, if the Reynolds number is greater than 4000, it is termed as turbulent flow. In between this range, it is difficult to know the exact nature, and hence it is the transition flow. Hence, the two extreme points in the range are critical numbers, and the range is the critical range. अगर मेरे पास दो numbers हैं, एक है 2000, एक है 4000. I have two numbers, 2000 and 4000. Any number below 2000 is laminar flow. Any number above 4000 is turbulent flow. So these are critical numbers because these are the boundaries. The minimum value, the maximum value. Critical numbers. Whatever the numbers come in between, the numbers coming between 2000 and 4000, they are called the critical range because that is the range of the critical numbers. So it is possible to have a Reynolds number as high as 50,000. Reynolds number can be huge numbers. But the moment it goes over 4000, the disturbance in flow stream causes laminar flow to become turbulent. So what I'm trying to say is that whether a number is 50,000 or 100,000 or whether it is 4,000, it does not matter. It comes under the turbulent regime. Let us do a small example. Determine if the flow is laminar or turbulent if glycerine at 25 degrees Celsius flows in a circular passage with a fabricated chemical processing device. The diameter of the passage is 150 millimeter and the average velocity of the flow is 3.6 meter per second. First things first, you should look at your units. Looking at the units, you know that this question is in SI unit. So please write the information that you have. You have the average velocity U is equal to 3.6 meter per second. इसके अलावा you have the diameter of the pipe 150 millimeter. Please convert it into meters. 0.150 meters. सही है. आपके पास दो पैरामीटर तो हैं, डायमीटर, दूसरा आपके पास क्या है, आपके पास वेलोसिटी है. You need two more parameters. You need the viscosity of the glycerine and you need the density of glycerine. Whenever you see a question, always look at the temperature. You are said 25 degrees Celsius and you're given glycerine. So you have to extract the information from literature. आप क्या करेंगे? आप पीछे जाएंगे टेबल्स के अंदर. Look at, always read the heading. This table is for certain liquids at 25 degree. यानी ये टेबल सिर्फ 25 डिग्रीज के लिए एप्लीकेबल है. 25 डिग्री से ज्यादा टेम्परेचर हो या कम टेम्परेचर हो, ये टेबल एप्लीकेबल नहीं है. आपको दूसरे सोर्सेस से डेटा निकालना पड़ेगा. So I repeat, only for 25 degrees centigrade, this table is applicable. What you do, you have been given in the question that glycerine is your liquid. You go on glycerine. You have properties over here, specific gravity, you have specific weight, you have density, you have dynamic viscosity, and you have kinematic viscosity. Depending upon you, whether you want to use the formula of dynamic viscosity, you will need two values over there, dynamic viscosity and density. Or whether you're using kinematic viscosity, you only need the value of kinematic viscosity. You can solve the question. And I will show you that in both the ways, your answer is the same. Your question says you have to predict whether the flow is turbulent or laminar. So what do? I have my diameter, I have my u. From the table I just showed you, I showed you that rho is 1258 kg per meter cube. Your dynamic viscosity is 9.60 into 10 to the power minus 1, 10 to the power minus 1 Pascal second. And Pascal second can also be written as kg per meter per second. And then you have your kinematic viscosity in meter square per second. आप सबसे पहले क्या करेंगे, आप अपना रेनॉल्ड नंबर फॉर्मूला अप्लाई कर देंगे. I am applying my Reynolds number formula for my main equation. U rho d upon mu, which by now you should know this formula because I keep on repeating it. U rho d upon mu. You substitute the values. Speed आपकी है 3.6 SI units. Density आपकी है 1258 SI units. Your diameter is 150 millimeter. Please convert it into SI units. 150 into 10 to the power minus 3. Your dynamic viscosity is 9.60 into 10 to the power minus 1. Pascal second is kg divided by meter second. That is also SI units. When I solve this question, I am getting an answer 707.625, roughly 708. Clearly, there are no units to it. There can be no units for Reynolds number because it is a dimensionless number. So in my last statement to give the answer, I simply need to write, since Reynolds number is less than 2000, 2000 was the critical value, I can say that my flow is laminar flow. If I tell you in the question, use dynamic viscosity, you have to use this viscosity formula. If I tell you to use kinematic viscosity, you have to use the formula kinematic viscosity. If I do not say anything, it is up to the student. Student A can do this question by dynamic viscosity. Student B can do it by kinematic viscosity. So I have shown you the second method also, that assuming someone did it via kinematic viscosity. The second formula of Reynolds number is velocity multiplied by diameter upon kinematic viscosity. It has one term less than the main equation. What was my velocity? 3.6. What was my diameter? 150 into 10 to the power minus 3. What was my kinematic viscosity? 7.63 into 10 to the power minus 4. I already copied it from the table of glycerine at 25 degree. When I solve that, my Reynolds number is 707.7. Compare the answers with dynamic viscosity with kinematic viscosity. Either case, it is 708. यानी आप चाबी यहाँ से घुमाओ या चाबी वहां से घुमाओ. Whether you use Reynolds number with dynamic viscosity or whether you use the Reynolds number with kinematic viscosity, it does not matter. The one thing that I forgot to write at the end of this question, and I want you to write because that is your main answer. You should write this statement. Since Reynolds number is less than 2000, this is laminar flow. That is your complete answer. तो बात समझ आई? पहला जो एग्जाम्पल था वो सबसे आसान एग्जाम्पल था that we talked about the Reynolds number. How to calculate it? Let's do another example. Determine whether the flow is laminar or turbulent. If water at 70 degrees flows in a hydraulic copper tube with a 32 millimeter OD and 2 millimeter valve, the flow rate is 295 liter per minute. First things first, look at this question. Always, if you have a temperature given, follow that temperature. I say that water at 70 degrees flows. I have taught you before the table with water with temperature. You will be provided with this table where there's temperature for water at 70 degrees. You will write density is 978. You can get the density from here. You can get the dynamic viscosity from here. You can get the kinematic viscosity from here. Again, suppose if the temperature is not given, अगर आपको कोई सवाल में टेम्परेचर नहीं गिवन होता, you assume room condition. If no temperature is given, you assume that your density is going to be 1000 kg per meter cube. You assume that your specific weight is going to be 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube. But since temperature is given, you cannot write 1000 kg per meter cube as my density of water. My answer will be wrong. Always look at the given temperature, 70 degrees. That was one thing. Second thing was that suppose it is an intermediate value between 70 and 75. I had told you 73. Then in the previous chapters, I have taught you linear interpolation. Please get your desired answers by linear interpolation. आपको linear interpolation करना पड़ेगा. और linear interpolation please देख लीजिएगा. Follow linear interpolation, but then you would need to do linear interpolation for density because density is needed for Reynolds number. You will need to do linear interpolation for dynamic viscosity if you're using the term for dynamic viscosity. And if you're using kinematic viscosity, then you would need to do linear interpolation for kinematic viscosity. From linear interpolation, you would know that your value would be between this value and between this value. With an increase in temperature, all the values are decreasing. So if let's say if I take 70 degrees, my value would be between 978 and 975. It can be 976, it can be 977. तो ये ट्रेंड आपको देखना पड़ेगा. You would need to see the trend. So first things first, always look at your temperature. सही है. So assuming at 70 degrees, I took out my density, I took out my dynamic viscosity. Second thing, I need to look at my SI units. Yes, this is SI units, millimeter. It's not American units. Only I need to convert it into SI units. The flow rate 295 liter per minute. That is not an SI unit. The SI unit for flow rate is meter cube per second in SI unit. In American unit, it is foot cube per second. Secondly, why do I need flow rate? What is the use of flow rate? The flow rate is given to directly calculate the velocity because the velocity is obtained by this formula. Q is equal to UA. The area can be found of the tube with these given dimensions. I have taught you two methods. One method is you can directly go in the appendix, go on the copper tube table, check out the diameter that at 32 millimeter OD 2 millimeter wall, what is the area? You can write that down. But suppose if that table is not given to you, you can use the formula that I taught you. OD is equal to ID minus 2 times wall thickness. You should know this formula also. ये फॉर्मूला आपको मालूम होना चाहिए. और ये भी मैंने आपको बताया था कि एरिया जो आप ढूंढते हैं पाई डी स्क्वायर अपॉन 4, that is always done on the internal diameter. In the question you have the outer diameter, so first of all you find out the internal diameter in SI units, then you find out the area. From the flow rate and the area you can find out the velocity. So let us go forward now. This is the data I had. Okay, I found out my internal diameter. 32 minus 2 into 2 is 4, 28 millimeter. Immediately, I converted it into SI units, 28 into 10 to the power minus 3, and I found my area pi d square upon 4, pi into 28 into 10 to the power minus 3 whole square upon 4. My area came out to be 6.1575 meters square into 10 to the power minus 4. Okay. I also knew that my volumetric flow rate was not in under SI units, liter per minute. So first things first, I change it into SI units, 4.75 into 10 to the power minus 3 by the unit conversion method. I apply the formula volumetric flow rate Q is equal to UA, and I get the velocity 7.7141 meter per second. That is under SI units. अब मैं क्या करूंगा? I apply Reynolds number. Reynolds number, by now I assume you know the formula, which is U d rho upon mu. You just found out the velocity. You have the diameter. The density and the rho can be taken from the table, directly. Water at 70 degrees, rho is 978 kg per meter cube. The viscosity is 4.02 into 10 to the power minus 4 Pascal second, SI units. And you can compute your Reynolds number, which is 525484, or in other words, 5.25 into 10 to the power 5. Last statement that you need to write is, since the Reynolds number is greater than 4000, it is turbulent flow. रेनॉल्ड नंबर आपका 4000 से बड़ा है तो आपका जो फ्लो है दैट इज टर्बुलेंट फ्लो. तो बात समझ आई? दिस इज हाउ यू एक्चुअली कैलकुलेट योर रेनॉल्ड्स नंबर. द ट्रिक इज सिंपल. लुक एट द टेम्परेचर, change to SI units, do the Reynolds number, and everything is done. Okay, then we move on. What do we have after this? We have another example. Determine the range of average velocity of flow for which the flow will be in the critical region if SAE 10 oil at 60 Fahrenheit is flowing in a 2-inch schedule 40 steel pipe. The oil has a specific gravity of 0.89. अब दही देखें, ये जो इक्वेशन है रेनॉल्ड नंबर की हम बात कर रहे हैं. रेनॉल्ड नंबर में आपको 4 चीजें चाहिए. आपको वेलोसिटी चाहिए, आपको विस्कोसिटी चाहिए, विस्कोसिटी के बाद यू नीड द डेंसिटी, एंड लास्टली यू नीड द स्पीड, u. The speed is exactly what you are calculating over here, and it is asking the range of average velocity. The range is found when you assume that once your flow is laminar and once your flow is turbulent. Chalein, how to approach this thing? In the appendix, there is no data which gives you, like 25 degrees, there is no data for SAE 10 oil. You have been given 60 Fahrenheit and SAE 10 oil and a specific gravity of 0.89. First things first, you need to find out the dynamic viscosity. So how will I find out the dynamic viscosity for this question? It is not that difficult. अब आप देखेंगे कि मुश्किल नहीं है, but आप इसको करेंगे कैसे? Behind in literature, you have a couple of graphs. I will just show you directly in the book. In the appendix, just give me a minute. These were the properties of the liquids, common liquids at 25. You won't find SAE oil over here. You come under this graph variation of viscosity with temperature. There are a couple of graphs over here. One is this graph, and you can see what the graph says: dynamic viscosity with temperature. But observe that the temperature is under centigrade, which are the SI units. The second graph is dynamic viscosity with temperature Fahrenheit, American units. This is the graph you're going to use. Why will you use this graph? A, you will use this graph because there's a temperature Fahrenheit. B, your required oil SAE10 is this curve. You need to follow this curve to take out your answer. This curve is for SAE10. So how do I find out the dynamic viscosity? You had been given a temperature 60 Fahrenheit. आपको 60 Fahrenheit दिया था. आप इस कर्व ग्राफ पे जाकर देखें, यहाँ पर आपके पास 50 Fahrenheit है, यहाँ पर 100 Fahrenheit है. There are 5 boxes: 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. At 60 Fahrenheit, you make a point. This is your 60 Fahrenheit. You take your scale upwards and move your line up, 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 till you come on the curve SE10. SE10 was this curve. Because if I'm following my SE10 curve, this is my SE10 curve. And SE10 curve is coming at this point, roughly over here, at 60 Fahrenheit. And you read the corresponding viscosity like this. So what is the step? You go on your given temperature 60 Fahrenheit, you make a dot, then you use your scale and go up all the way till your liquid, which was SE10 in this case. And after, when you come to SE10 at 60 Fahrenheit, you then, where the straight line intersects the SE10 curve, you then read the corresponding dynamic viscosity. It is roughly in between 2.1 into 10 to the power minus 3. ये वैल्यू आ रही है. एक और एग्जांपल दे देता हूं. सपोज आपका कर्व होता 60 डिग्री फॉरेनहाइट एट मरकरी. ये देखें, ये मरकरी का कर्व है. तो मरकरी के कर्व के लिए आप क्या करते हैं? आप डॉट यहां बनाते हैं. यू वुड मेक अ डॉट, you would go up 60, 60, 60, 60, 60, and you would make a line on Mercury. This is where Mercury is, Mercury curve, right over here. This was coming roughly 3.8 into 10 to the power minus 5. But that is for Mercury. I am showing you how to read the graph. So for SE10, you read your viscosity. आपने अपनी विस्कोसिटी यहां से पढ़ ली, और जब आपने अपनी विस्कोसिटी पढ़ी इस ग्राफ से, you can clearly see that your viscosity is, we are going step by step. Forget the other steps. Look at this step. Viscosity at 60 Fahrenheit for oil was 2.1 into 10 to the power minus 3 American units. LB, pound force second per foot cube. This I calculated from the appendix from that curve. 2.1 into 10 to the power minus 3. That is my viscosity. Chale, that is one thing I've done. Second thing was density of oil. How do I find out the density of oil? I should know this formula that in the question specific gravity is given. What is the density of any oil? Density of any oil is specific gravity multiplied by the density of water. Specific gravity multiplied by the density of water. Again, look at the temperature 60 Fahrenheit. 60 Fahrenheit is the temperature. तो जैसे water, and we are talking about water. Just in the previous example, I showed you this table right over here, where we took out the temperature at 70 degrees for water. Water के लिए हमने temperature निकाला था ना. तो सिमिलरली हम फ़ारेनहाइट के अंदर भी वाटर के लिए टेम्परेचर है. At 60 Fahrenheit, I look at the density of water, which is 1.94 slugs foot cube. 60 Fahrenheit पे 1.94 slugs foot cube. I do not write the dynamic viscosity or the kinematic viscosity. Why am I not writing the dynamic viscosity or kinematic viscosity? I am not writing dynamic viscosity or kinematic viscosity because my fluid is not water. My fluid is oil. I have already calculated the dynamic viscosity of oil from that curve. मैं dynamic viscosity calculate कर चुका हूं. मैं dynamic viscosity calculate कर चुका हूं. इस टेबल का मैं सिर्फ मदद उठा रहा हूं density of water लेने के लिए. Why? If I have the specific gravity multiplied by the density of water at 60 Fahrenheit, I can do what? I can calculate the density of oil. और Reynolds number में I need the density of oil. तो बात समझ आई बच्चों? So what we do is, and if any of you have a problem, you can always contact me. I will help you out. It is not that difficult. You just have to think about it. So look at the example. SAE of oil specific gravity is 0.89. At 60 Fahrenheit, what have I written? Density of water is 1.94 slug per foot cube. I copied it from the table. Density of oil can be found out by doing nothing but specific gravity multiplied by the density of water. I get the answer 1.7266 slug foot cube. That is my density. So that is one of the components of the Reynolds number done. I have found out the viscosity density. I have also found out the dynamic viscosity using that chart before. Here is the value. What do I need now? I need the pipe dia. For dia, it says 2-inch schedule 40 steel pipe. 2-inch schedule 40 steel pipe. So what will I do? I will go on my table because in my exam I will be given both schedule 40 and schedule 80. I do not have to make the mistake of reading the wrong chart. I will go on my data and I will look at my data and see dimension of steel pipe, schedule 40. Then I would look at my NPS in inches and DN. I said 2-inch pipe. 2-inch pipe, but this is my outer diameter, this is my inner diameter, this is my wall thickness, this is my inner diameter. I told you always take your inner diameter. So on my 2-inch pipe, my inner diameter can be in inches, it can be in foot, or it can be in millimeter. In my question, I am dealing with the American units. And American units, the unit of length is foot. So on 2-inch schedule 40, my inside diameter is 0.1723. This value right over here. This is my value that I'm going to take. 0.1723. Not a problem. Diameter is 0.1723 foot. I need to find out the critical regime or the critical velocity for my particular Reynolds number. I have all parameters. This is the parameter I need to find out, U. I just found the density, I found the diameter, I found mu. Critical parameters come between critical points. There are two critical points. एक critical point है 2000 Reynolds number to determine laminar flow. The other critical number is 4000 Reynolds number to determine turbulent flow. So I apply my formula 2 times. Once I keep my Reynolds number 4000, once I keep my Reynolds number 2000. Assuming I keep my Reynolds number 2000, I get my velocity 14.117 foot per second. Even though I know my second velocity, Why? If on 2000 it is 14.117, if I'm not changing any parameters, only doubling the Reynolds number, my velocity should automatically be doubled, 28.2359. But you need to show this because this is the critical regime. So you do a second test with Reynolds number 4000. Your velocity of the critical region is nothing but 14.1 is less than u, less than 28.2 foot per second is your units. So that is the way how to find out the critical velocity. So in this particular diagram, I showed you a new aspect. I showed you how to read a chart for any given oil with respect to the temperature. यानी मैंने आपको ये चार्ट पढ़ना सिखाया. It's over here. This chart Fahrenheit. अगर यही चीज सेंटीग्रेड में होती, सपोज मैं आपको बोलता कि चलो एक छोटा एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं, बेंजीन. I would have said benzene at 20 degrees. Benzene at 20 degrees, what is the dynamic viscosity? Pascal second या kg per meter second में. On 20, you would put a dot over here. Just make sure that your temperature is in degree C, not Fahrenheit. 20 degree C, you would have made a dot over here. You would have gone up till the benzene curve, where the curve intersects. आपका curve intersects at this point. Your straight line going up would join the curve at this point, and you would just read the value over here. This is roughly coming 3.6 into 10 to the power minus 4. That is how you read this graph, which is called viscosity against temperature graph. तो सही है, ये आपका थर्ड एग्जांपल हो गया. Okay. This was the schedule 40 curve that I showed you how I acquired the reading. Then we go a step forward. Darcy's equation. आपको chapter 7 में मालूम है. In chapter 7, I told you the general energy balance equation, which was P1 upon gamma plus Z1 plus V1 square upon 2G plus HA energy lost to energy added to the pump minus HR energy lost to the motor minus HL energy lost in the friction of the fluid plus the energy in the pipes and the valves is equal to P2 upon gamma plus Z2 plus V2 square upon 2G. This equation also you should know by heart, or you should know how to derive. It is derived nothing but from the Bernoulli's equation. And Bernoulli's equation was derived nothing but from the continuity equation. So HL we had defined as the energy loss from the system. One component of the energy loss was friction of the flowing fluid. आपको मैंने उस वक्त बताया था फ्रिक्शन ऑफ द फ्लोइंग फ्लूइड था. और ये आपको मालूम होना चाहिए, फ्रिक्शन इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू आइदर द वेलोसिटी हेड ऑफ द फ्लूइड एंड टू द रेशियो ऑफ द लेंथ टू द डायमीटर ऑफ द फ्लो. यानी फ्रिक्शन ऑफ द फ्लूइड जो आपका है ना HL की टर्म, वो डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल दो चीजों से होता है. एक आपका वेलोसिटी हेड होता है विच इज नथिंग बट u स्क्वायर अपॉन 2g. दूसरा आपका किस चीज से होता है, L अपॉन D. और फ्रिक्शन फैक्टर तो हमने क्या किया, इसको मैथमेटिकली एक्सप्रेस किया, या जो डार्सी ने एक्सप्रेस किया था. व्हाट डिड डार्सी से? डार्सी सेड, डार्सीज मेन लॉ क्या था? द मेन लॉ ऑफ डार्सी वाज HL इज इक्वल टू K multiplied by U square upon 2G, where K was the resistance कोएफिशिएंट और द फ्रिक्शन फ्लो. तो इधर हम K की वैल्यू डिटरमिन कर रहे हैं. तो डार्सी ने क्या किया? डार्सी सेड दैट HL इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू V स्क्वायर अपॉन 2G which is velocity head और and to L multiply by D. तो मैथमेटिकली अगर हम करेंगे तो HL यहां पर एक कांस्टेंट आ जाएगा, HL is equal to some constant multiplied by V square upon 2G multiplied by L upon D. That constant is the friction factor F. So Darcy's equation, ये जो Darcy's equation है ना, HL is equal to F multiplied by L upon D into V square upon 2G. You should know this Darcy's equation also. This is the Darcy's equation to calculate the energy loss or the head. तो ये हेड का जो फॉर्मूला होता है ना, HL is equal to F multiplied by LD, L upon D multiplied by V square upon 2G. A student should know this by heart also. So Darcy's equation can be used to calculate the energy loss due to friction in long straight sections of round pipes for both laminar and turbulent flow. This equation is valid for both laminar and turbulent flow. You cannot say that Darcy equation is valid only for laminar flow. This equation L upon D, this equation HL is equal to F into L upon D into V square upon 2G is known as the Darcy equation. And this Darcy equation is valid for both laminar and turbulent flow. How it is used to calculate turbulent flow? I will discuss turbulent flow in the next lecture. Turbulent flow की बात हम next lecture में करेंगे. अभी हम सिर्फ laminar flow की बात कर रहे हैं. The difference between the two regime is in the evaluation of the dimensionless factor F. जो difference आता है ना कि laminar flow है turbulent flow है, वो इस factor के बीच से आता है, F के ऊपर. Velocity जो U होती है, that can be calculated by Q is equal to U. Always related to volumetric flow rate and area in fluid mechanics for pipes. So this was the Darcy equation. So I repeat, what is the Darcy's equation? Darcy's equation is nothing but HL is equal to F multiplied by L upon D into the velocity head U square upon 2G, where F is nothing but known as the friction factor, which is dimensionless. And L upon D is also dimensionless because unit L has meter, D has meter. Meter upon meter, dimensionless. Up, we are going to talk about friction loss in laminar flow. यानी Darcy equation का जो F है ना, वो हम determine करते हैं laminar flow के लिए. So when laminar flow exists, the fluid seems to flow in layers. We had talked about that. Due to the viscosity of the fluid, shear stress is created between the layers of the fluid. Viscosity जो होती है वो shear stress बनाता है. Energy is lost by overcoming the friction forces that are produced by the shear. Energy is lost to overcome the friction forces. That shearing force provides a viscosity gradient. You need to overcome that viscosity gradient, which is the F, the friction factor. As the laminar flow is regular and orderly, the relationship between the energy loss and measurable parameters of the flow system can easily be derived. This relationship is known as the Hagen-Poiseuille equation. Bhai, Hagen-Poiseuille was another scientist. He gave another relation that HL is equal to 32 mu L up LU upon gamma D square, where gamma is the specific weight. This relation will be provided to you. I do not expect you to know the Hagen-Poiseuille equation. मैं आपको Hagen-Poiseuille equation दूंगा, Darcy equation नहीं दूंगा, मगर Hagen-Poiseuille equation मिलेगी. तो Hagen-Poiseuille ने ये equation derive किया. The difference between Hagen-Poiseuille and the Darcy equation is, Darcy equation is valid both for laminar and turbulent flow. Hagen-Poiseuille equation is only valid for laminar flow. मैं repeat कर रहा हूँ, Darcy equation जो है वो laminar flow के लिए भी होता है और turbulent flow के लिए भी होता है. Hagen-Poiseuille जो equation है वो सिर्फ laminar flow के लिए होता है. Parameters involved are the fluid properties, viscosity, specific weight, geometric properties of pipe जिसमें length आ जाता है, diameter आ जाता है, and dynamics of the flow, velocity आ सक जाती है. In laminar flow, the energy loss is independent of the pipe surface. Viscous friction losses takes place within the fluid, governing the magnitude of energy losses. Laminar flow के अंदर जो energy loss है ना, वो independent हो जाता है viscous force के ऊपर. तो Hagen-Poiseuille equation is only valid for laminar flow where Reynolds number is less than 2000. यानी आपका ये जो इक्वेशन है ना Hagen-Poiseuille, ये सिर्फ रेनॉल्ड नंबर लेस देन 2000 के लिए एप्लीकेबल होता है. द फर्स्ट स्टेज इन कैलकुलेटिंग दीज वैल्यूज आर यू कैलकुलेट द रेनॉल्ड नंबर. अगर आपके रेनॉल्ड नंबर की वैल्यू लेस देन 2000 आ जाती है, सो यू कैन अप्लाई द Hagen-Poiseuille इक्वेशन. बट सपोज इफ योर रेनॉल्ड नंबर वैल्यू इज ग्रेटर देन 4000, this equation is not possible because this equation does not work on turbulent flow. Since Hagen-Poiseuille equation and Darcy equation both equal to the energy loss, अगर आप Hagen-Poiseuille equation देखें, HL को सब्जेक्ट बनाया है. अगर आप Darcy equation को देखें तो Darcy ने भी HL को सब्जेक्ट बनाया है. So both of these equations can be related with one another to solve the friction factor F. So the energy loss can be calculated from any of the two relation. HL for laminar flow can be solved from any of the two equations. Which leads us to our next important thing, friction factor for laminar flow. This derivation is important. This derivation is important if friction factor for laminar flow. I have taught you, this is the third derivation I am teaching you in fluid mechanics. The first derivation was continuity equation. The second derivation was the derivation of the Bernoulli equation using kinetic energy, potential energy, and pressure energy. The third derivation is friction factor for laminar flow. You should know all these three derivations. जो तीन डेरिवेशन मैंने आपको करवाई हैं, पहली कॉन्टिन्यूटी इक्वेशन, दूसरी बर्नौली इक्वेशन, तीसरी ये आपकी है फ्रिक्शन फैक्टर इक्वेशन फॉर लैमिनर फ्लो. तो अब आप देखें फ्रिक्शन फैक्टर इक्वेशन के अंदर, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू हैव द Hagen-Poiseuille इक्वेशन विच इज इक्वेशन 1. HL is equal to 32 mu LU specific weight d square. Second equation is the Darcy equation, the equation which you should know by heart. HL is equal to F, which is the friction factor, L upon D, U square upon 2G. HL is the subject over here, HL is the subject over here. You can equate equation 1 with equation 2. That means that you equal the Darcy equation to the Hagen-Poiseuille equation. That is exactly what I've done. Darcy equation is on the left hand side, Hagen-Poiseuille equation is on the right hand side. And I make F the subject. Why? Because I am deriving the equation for the friction factor for laminar flow. If I make F the subject, 32 mu LU is there and there, pi d square is there and there. This d2g will come on top. This L upon U square will come at the bottom. I will cancel out the like terms. This L cancels with this L. This U, one U cancels with one U over here. What else cancels? 1D cancels with D. 32 multiplies by 2. And I write the equation for friction factor, which is nothing but 64 mu G upon specific weight du. This is my third equation. Now I know what is the relation between specific weight rho and G. Because the Reynolds number has density in it, this equation I should know. This equation would also not be provided. You should know as a student that specific weight is nothing but density multiplied by gravity. Density multiplied by gravity आपको मालूम होनी चाहिए. तो आपने क्या किया, आपने ये इक्वेशन 4 लगाई, स्पेसिफिक वेट इज नथिंग बट डेंसिटी इनटू ग्रेविटी, एंड यू सब्स्टिट्यूट दिस इक्वेशन इन दिस इक्वेशन, इक्वेशन 3। यानी ये जो फोर्थ इक्वेशन बनी है ना, स्पेसिफिक वेट इज डेंसिटी मल्टीप्लाई बाय ग्रेविटी, you equate that into your third equation, 64 ug upon rho g du। जब आपने ये इक्वेशन यहां पर पुट की तो स्पेसिफिक वेट की जगह मैंने, ये जो स्पेसिफिक वेट था इसकी जगह मैंने रो जी लगा दिया, जी जी कैंसिल हो गया, तो मेरे पास बचा 64 u रो डी यू। अगर गौर किया जाए, रेनॉल्ड नंबर इज नथिंग बट यू डी रो अपॉन म्यू। ये क्या है, म्यू अपॉन रो डी यू। इन अदर वर्ड्स, ये जो सर्कुलर में है, वट एवर इज इन दिस सर्कल, इट इज नथिंग बट 1 अपॉन रेनॉल्ड नंबर। तो if I rechange this, my friction factor is 64 upon Reynolds number. So this 64 upon Reynolds number is only applicable for laminar flow. Why is it only applicable for laminar flow? This 64 upon Reynolds number is only applicable for laminar flow because to derive this, one of the equations used was the Hagen-Poiseuille, and Hagen-Poiseuille is only applicable to laminar flow. अगर Hagen-Poiseuille सिर्फ laminar flow के लिए applicable हो सकता है, तो ये जो friction factor 64 upon Reynolds number जो मैंने अभी derive किया है, ये सिर्फ laminar flow के लिए है। So this derivation is very important. So अब आपको समझ आई कि ये फ्रिक्शन फैक्टर की डेरिवेशन 64 अपॉन रेनॉल्ड नंबर में कहां से लाया। ये 64 अपॉन रेनॉल्ड नंबर में लाया बाय इक्वेटिंग टू फैक्टर्स, टू रिलेशंस टुगेदर। एक जो थी वो थी हेगन-पोसाइल इक्वेशन, वेयर इट इज